This is Group J's final proposal for a board training program titled Board Mastery, Empowering Nonprofit Leaders for Congregation Beth Yeshurun. Group J is comprised of Angel Sierra, Ashley Mills, Ashley Scott, and Kayla Harris. Today we will be discussing the comprehensive training program for Congregation Beth Yeshurun. This program is designed to empower existing and new board members with the knowledge and tools to fulfill their roles. To ensure its effectiveness, we conducted a thorough needs assessment. Our program is based on the following assumptions: that board members are motivated to learn, are self-directed, bring relevant work experiences, and approach training with a problem-solving mindset. The training objectives are to uphold the congregation's mission, vision, and values, discover effective governance and decision-making skills, apply financial literacy and fundraising abilities, enhance communication and collaboration, and show personal commitment through accountability and ethical leadership. Our training approach includes audiovisual techniques, lectures, and self-directed learning. The lesson plans include 6 comprehensive sessions, each designed to equip participants with the knowledge and skills crucial for effective nonprofit governance. Finally, we will evaluate the program using the Kirkpatrick model to assess its impact and effectiveness. Congregation Beth Yeshurun is a vibrant Jewish community located in Houston, Texas. Founded over a century ago in 1891, originally as Adith Yeshurun, Beth Yeshurun has grown to serve nearly 2,000 families, making it the largest conservative congregation in the United States and second in North America. It is committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for individuals and families of all backgrounds. The synagogue offers a wide range of programs and services designed to meet the spiritual, educational, and societal needs of its members. Central to Beth Yeshurun's mission, it is dedicated to Jewish tradition and education. The synagogue provides opportunities for lifelong learning, with classes and study groups for adults, as well as renowned religious school and youth programs for children and teenagers. Beth Yeshurun also places a strong emphasis on community service and social action, encouraging members to participate in Tikkun Olam, or repairing the world, through various volunteer and charitable initiatives. Beth Yeshurun is known for its beautiful facilities, including 3 sanctuaries, multiple meeting rooms, and a kosher kitchen capable of hosting large banquets and events. The synagogue's campus, located in the heart of Houston, serves as a hub for Jewish life in the city, attracting members from diverse backgrounds and fostering a sense of unity and belonging. As a proud affiliate of the United Synagogues of Conservative Judaism, also known as USCJ, Congregation Beth Yeshurun is deeply committed to embracing and promoting the philosophy and values of conservative Judaism. The movement seeks to balance tradition with modernity, characterized by a commitment to Jewish law and tradition while also being open to new interpretations and understandings. Beth Yeshurun celebrates the richness of tradition of Torah, prayer, and life cycle events while also recognizing the need for a dynamic and evolving understanding of Jewish law and practices. Conservative Judaism is not just a label at Beth Yeshurun, but a way of life that informs the approach to prayer, study, and community engagement. Conservative Judaism emphasizes inclusivity and diversity, recognizing that Jews come from a variety of backgrounds and experiences. Beth Yeshurun seeks to create a welcoming and inclusive community where all feel valued and respected, extending this commitment to inclusivity beyond the Jewish community and to the broader society.
So, our purpose for why we're here today is to really focus on educating not only new members that are coming in, but also current members that have been here for a while with the understanding of the roles and responsibilities they hold within their positions. So this can be anything from how to use the tools that are provided for them to make day-to-day work life easier, and an all-around comprehensive knowledge of their position and what specifically is required or expected of them in the position that they hold. This also goes hand in hand with ensuring a clear understanding of duties. Something that can really help this is standardized training, such as this really helps each and every person have a clear understanding of everything that is expected of them. So providing the training, having people work together, and making sure that leaders are also living out the mission and the vision in their day-to-day work life. Having such knowledge can really help people have a more motivated work life. You feel really confident in what you're doing and what's expected of you, and that your upper leadership also has confidence in you in the work that you provide. Something else we would really like to address is the negative results of turnover and how nonprofit organizations such as this tends to have members and participants periodically join and leave, and how this can affect the organization when problems like these happen. So this kind of fluctuating membership can cause outcomes such as the loss of talent and productivity due to turnover, the need for retraining, and the effort required for recruitment. And on top of all of this, it can make it really challenging to establish and maintain a culture that fosters strong relationships if you constantly have people leaving and coming back and just not having anyone stagnant, or having people to rely on that are going to be there consistently. So this initiative really aims to reduce the turnover rates, increase stakeholder satisfaction, and effective leadership and contributions. Alrighty, so for this step, it's going to be our needs assessment, and the first thing we're going to do is try and determine what our training need is. And in order to figure this out, we're going to perform an organizational analysis, and this will help us identify what type of training is congruent with the company's business strategy and resources. So you just want to make sure whatever you choose is going hand in hand with the type of resources and environment that is within the organization. All right, and so the next step is going to use a personal analysis with a survey to calculate the existing board member strengths for improvement and identify the skills required for effective board membership. And this survey provides us with some more information on how long they've been with the organization and their history with it, how confident they feel in the understanding of nonprofit governance, how familiar they are with the financial management practices within a nonprofit organization, and how comfortable they are understanding of ethical leadership and accountability. And these are just a couple of the things that the survey provides us with the information. Alrighty, so another key component in our needs assessment is the gap analysis. And this basically just allows companies to compare where their performance levels are at now to where they would like to be in the future. And this basically just helps us to have a better understanding of whether or not a company is meeting the expectations and is using its resources effectively. There are also around 24 committees within the organization, and we really want to make sure that we consider the interests of the leaders. And then for our task analysis, we will identify the responsibilities of board members as well as pinpoint the knowledge needed to perform these tasks effectively. And we can use a personalized competency model to evaluate our initial focus areas surrounding the functional and foundational aptitudes. So our assumptions about the board members' training environment and available resources are based on the education theory created by Malcolm Knowles. So basically, we assume that board members need to know why they are learning, that they have a need to be self directed, they bring work related experiences, and that they will enter the training with a problem centered approach. And they are intrinsically and extrinsically motivated. And this assumption goes hand in hand with the expectancy theory that suggests that human behavior is based on expectancy, instrumentality, and valence to influence the outcome of the training and frame it in a positive light. So, this basically means that members or participants are motivated within themselves and they're just natural motivation, and that there's also other outside influences in terms of having recognition for going above and beyond, or that giving incentives and possible promotions also really drives people to work harder.
The board of directors ensures effective governance within nonprofit organizations. But many boards struggle because they don't have a sufficient understanding of their roles and responsibilities, or even a strategic direction. To address this, our program titled Board Mastery, Empowering Nonprofit Leaders, is a breath of fresh air, providing more than just generic training. It's a robust, purpose-driven education designed to elevate and inspire. We can do this by curating the curriculum to focus on 5 key measurable objectives that I'll get to shortly. Our robust program is designed specifically for those involved in governing nonprofit entities, and it covers a wide range of topics. We'll explore the legal framework governing nonprofits to give participants insight into key laws related to taxation, fundraising, accountability, measures specific to the nonprofit sector. Understanding these will help the board fulfill its fiduciary duties effectively while avoiding pitfalls. We'll look at the leadership principles unique to the nonprofit context. For example, how to lead teams toward organizational goals without compromising mission focus, and ethical decision making as it relates to managing resources that align with the organization's objectives. Our program underscores the importance of promoting inclusion alongside practical exercises that aim to foster empathetic communication and collaborative problem solving, which of course are vital for leading effectively across different domains and perspectives. So what are the objectives and what are we looking for? We know that training can benefit an organization's effectiveness, but the key is that the outcomes need to be measurable. So let's take a closer look. The congregation has been at the forefront of fostering Jewish community life in Houston. The organization's mission, vision, and core values absolutely shape its identity and guide its activities. These are beacons for all, from members to volunteers to staff and even leadership. So in line with these principles, the congregation creates a vibrant center of Jewish life in Texas. It's both a spiritual hub and a sanctuary where its contemporary needs are balanced by being rooted in tradition. So to measure the first objective for board members, we have pre and post training assessments that will help gauge their comprehension of the mission, vision, and values. And to pair this, we'll weigh how effectively they apply these principles during the decision-making process. For example, when formulating strategic plans and how well those align. The role of any board of directors is critical. Specifically for this organization, the responsibility goes beyond spiritual guidance to fiscal management and strategic planning. Congregants expect their leaders to make informed decisions that reflect sound business acumen while upholding the core values of their faith. So to begin, Pre and post training assessments can measure the improvement in the understanding of the governance principles. Then, by comparing results before and after training, we can determine the change in comprehension. Additionally, we can create scenarios that allow the board to practice key concepts, which provide many opportunities for problem solving and critical thinking. Following completion, another assessment would help gauge how well they were able to implement what they learned and demonstrate the competence for analyzing complex data sets related to budgeting, fundraising, community outreach, or any other relevant part to managing a faith-based organization. For our third objective, we know that financial literacy is essentially your knowledge about finances, budgeting, saving, investment, debt management, etc. But today, economic stability is a significant part of organizational sustainability, which also means being financially literate can be instrumental in making informed decisions. So to gauge this, a comprehensive financial literacy test tailored to meet the unique requirements of each member could check comprehension of income sources, expenditures, asset allocation, risk tolerance, etc., and we'd quickly identify strengths and weaknesses. And the results would help identify gaps that we could then use to follow up with targeted training. And second, on the third objective is fundraising, which is so important for many nonprofit organizations, especially religious ones like this one. We're talking about conceptualizing appealing campaigns to strategies on how to execute them, simulated exercises that replicate real-world scenarios involving different stakeholders, diverse funding sources, varying levels of competition, and distinct market conditions could help board members address some of the challenges they'll experience firsthand and in the real world, because ultimately data-driven decisions will be key based on the feedback received during these exercises. Objective 4 emphasizes the importance of interpersonal skills within leadership roles and how these can significantly influence organizational success. When a group is working toward shared goals, like the board members in this case, we want to find a way to enhance communicative abilities through role playing. We believe these will make room to practice active listening, clarity of expression, nonverbal cues, conflict resolution, and feedback delivery. But on top of communication, what we really want to see is effective teamwork, and we can measure this through group projects that require clear communication, understanding diverse perspectives, and negotiating differences appropriately. Although we have the two bullets pulled out separately in this slide, it's truly a dyadic type of goal that contributes to the other components simultaneously. But ultimately, all of this leads to improved productivity, better decision making, and stronger relationships. And the best part is that we can measure these. And finally, our last objective centers really on trust. Here we examine how the board members take ownership of their actions by understanding that every action has consequences, and how aligning their actions with matching values can give us insights into individual ethical maturity levels. So what we're looking to assess is changes in personal commitment, which can inform our ability to offer targeted development. So we'll have pre and post-training tests that not only give us the insights we're searching for, but also could give the board members the evidence they need that strengthens their confidence, because making responsible decisions based on sound judgment contributes significantly to the congregation's continued success.
As far as our training methods and rationale, we will use audio-visual techniques supported by lecture-based sessions and modified self-directed learning. The disadvantages of this method can be overcome by supplementing the training method. We intend to make training sessions digestible by categorizing similar concepts into smaller sessions. Our reasoning for these decisions is based on the research that indicates instruction needs to be delivered in relatively small chunks or short sessions in order to not exceed memory limits. Through this experience, we will incorporate diverse perspectives to provide valuable insights, success stories, and inspiration. Our self-directed component will include training materials that will allow later reference. Our first instructor will be Mr. Lee, who has an expertise in leadership in nonprofit organizations. Mr. Lee has a career spanning over 40 years in the Jewish community institutions. Mr. Lee began in entry-level positions, culminating in an 18-year tenure as the president and chief executive officer of the Jewish Federation of Greater Houston, retiring in 2017. Our second instructor is Ms. Meredith, who has an expertise in financial management and fundraising in nonprofits. She has over 20 years of invaluable fundraising experience. Meredith profoundly understands collaborating with major donors and various stakeholders. Her current role as Congregation Beth Development Director revolves around interacting with synagogue members, fostering meaningful connections, and ensuring their inclusion in the vibrant community. Okay, pre-training questionnaire, understanding of nonprofit governance. Nonprofit governance is defined as the framework that gives structure to a board and how it operates. So our first question is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 5 being high. How would you rate your current understanding of nonprofit governance? That is a pre-training question. Next, we have what specific aspects of nonprofit governance would you like to gain a deeper understanding of? Next, we have roles and responsibilities. The pre-training questionnaire for these would be, how comfortable do you feel with your current knowledge of board member roles and responsibilities? Scale is not at all comfortable to very comfortable. Next, we have, are there specific areas within board member roles and responsibilities that you would like more clarification on? So this pre-training questionnaire is just to kind of gauge where they are, what knowledge they have at this time, and how they are feeling about their current role. Okay, the next set of sample questions we have for the pre-training questionnaire. For strategic planning and decision making on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident do you feel in your ability to contribute to strategic planning and decision making? So at this time, for pre-training, how do you feel about what you can contribute at this time? Next, we have, are there specific areas within strategic planning and decision making where you feel you need more guidance? For financial management and fundraising, we have, how familiar are you with financial management practices within nonprofit organizations? And what aspects of financial management and fundraising would you like more information or training on? The next set of sample questions that we have for our pre-training questionnaire for communication and collaboration is, how would you rate your current communication and collaboration skills within a board setting? Are there specific community or collaboration challenges you have encountered or anticipate? And for our ethical leadership and accountability, we have, on a scale of 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with your understanding of ethical leadership and accountability? And are there particular ethical considerations or accountability aspects you believe should be emphasized in the training? Training and lesson plan. Our program unfolds across 6 comprehensive sessions, each designed to equip participants with the knowledge and skills crucial for effective nonprofit governance. So session 1, we have our welcome session. We'll have an overview of the organization's history, accomplishments, services, and community impact. We will discuss what will be expected going forward and the very importance of training. Session 2 will be roles and duties. So we will examine board members' fiduciary duty, legal obligations, decision making in relationship to leadership and executive staff. Examples and case studies are capable of illustrating the concepts. Next, we have session 3, which is strategy. We will have strategic planning basics, including creating goals, aligning them with the mission and vision, SWOT analysis and achieving goals, and discussions will include concept building. In session 4, we will discuss finances. We will discuss budgeting, financial reporting, internal controls, and legal and regulatory compliance. Next, we will have fundraising, grant writing, donor development, corporate partnerships, and event planning. In session 5, that will be communication. We will discuss active listening, conflict resolution, managing cultural differences, meeting facilitation. We will have collaboration methods, including partnerships and community resources will be examined, and adventure learning. Um, Session 6 will be about leadership. We will talk about ethical decision-making norms and transparency, emphasizing the values of trust and integrity, and signing a non-binding contract will seal a board member's commitment through accountability. The list of training materials that we will use are PowerPoints, related handouts, adventure learning waiver for session 5. We will use a contract for session 6, questionnaires, surveys before and after training for board members, surveys for committee leaders before training to adjust training as needed.
The final component of our board mastery program is evaluation. As you've heard from our presentation today, our intent is to prepare the board members for success, and everything we've explained and demonstrated represents a significant step forward. Our holistic approach addresses multiple dimensions of effective governance, which in turn gives board members the opportunities to acquire the well-rounded skills required to steer their nonprofit toward long-term viability. The roadmap for this process is robust and comprehensive. We'll use a pre-training assessment to assess baseline expectations with a questionnaire, followed by post-training evaluations that employ Kirkpatrick's evaluation model to determine whether both learning and the transfer of training have been successful. The evaluation will include a survey for each level, measuring participant satisfaction with the training content and its delivery. We'll assess the extent to which participants feel they have learned the skills and knowledge, and we'll also determine whether participants have been able to apply the skills and knowledge they've gained in their role as board members, while also evaluating how the training has enhanced the effectiveness of the board and the organization. We plan to use these surveys before and after the training to measure changes in both perception and behavior, but more specifically, we're looking at how the training impacts the organization's bottom line by reducing turnover rates for board members, how it increases stakeholder satisfaction, and how it encourages effective leadership and contributions. While capturing all 5 levels of the traditional evaluation outcomes is preferred, we recognize that it's important to achieve an adequate minimum evaluation, which means we should target specific learning and transfer of training levels. But at the heart of our approach is a commitment to not only enhance learning, but to ensure its application. And in this sense, the evaluation helps us as the trainers and educators achieve tangible results, which we then articulate into a structured framework that's repeatable every year that also maximizes our anticipated learning outcomes and improves learning retention to positively impact organizational performance.